Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folari. Hope you had a great weekend. Okay, it's been in the news. The president recently signed into law the establishment of some development commissions, especially talking about the South-South and the South-West Development Commission. Okay. So this is what we're going to talk about today, as well as any other matters, because our guest is Chief Okoye Obono Obla. He's an APC chieftain. Fine morning to you, and he's joining us from our Abuja Sud studio. Good morning to you, Chief Okoye Obono Obla.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, glad you could join us. Okay, there's been a lot of talk about it. Is this a case of better late than never? Because there are all sorts of conversations going on about it. On the one hand, it wasn't necessary. It's all a matter of political correctness. The mere fact that it existed before in the Northeast, it doesn't mean that we have to go around all the regions. But other people are saying the exact opposite. So let me just get your commentary on the latest set of these two that the president has signed into law.
Well, I think it's a good thing. I don't think it amounts to political correctness to set up regional development commissions. Even in countries like the United States that has experienced democracy for a very long time, for about 350 years, also has a federal system like what we have in Nigeria. I think these interventionist agencies are very good. They will complement what the state governments are doing at the regional level. So there is nothing about political correctness. There has been a lot of agitation on regional level in Nigeria. Particularly where I come from, used to be part of the eastern region of Nigeria. And there's Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Bayelsa State, River State. You know that we started our agitation for creation of Calabar, Ogoja, Rivers State as far back as 1953. And it was as a result of a political crisis in the NCNC, the party. And the person who was the leader of government business in Enugu at that time was from Calabar, Professor Ayoita. So when Zik couldn't make it, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe he was hoping to become premier of Western Nigeria. When he couldn't make it, he had to return back to Enugu, and NCNC leaders asked Professor Ayoita to step down as leader of government business in the Eastern Nigeria House of Assembly. And that resulted in a crisis because people from Calabar, Ogoja, and Rivers provinces, they were not happy. They said, okay, because maybe it's from the minority part of Eastern region, that is why they're asking him to step down. So the agitation started for the creation of Calabar, Ogoja, River State movement. And somehow, unfortunately for us, we didn't succeed. Rather, it was Midwestern region that was created in 1963 from Western Nigeria. And the agitation didn't start as early as that of, Calabar, Ogoja, Rivers. And then until 1967, when the government of Yakubu Gowon, General Yakubu Gowon, created the southeastern state and then river states out of eastern region of Nigeria. So we have been agitating for something like this. Maybe in the 1958, there was this commission that was created to look into the fears of the minority people in Nigeria, to allay their fear, Wilkie Commission. And they recommended the creation of a commission for Niger Delta area, So that is precisely what we are seeing, the so-called South-South Development Commission, which is not a Niger Delta thing, because if you look at the Niger Delta Development Commission, you have Ondo State, it's part of Niger Delta Development Commission. You have Abia State, which is in the southeast, is also part of NDDC. and then you have Imo State. So this commission is basically to deal with the issues concerning the South-South states, which is now Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa State, Delta, Edo, and River States, these 6 states. And if you look at the commission is going to take care of some special areas, some specific areas, environmental issues, ecological issues, militancy, also conflict, communal conflicts, and other related issues. This is going to be the focus of the SSDC.
Indeed. Okay. So actually, the Niger Delta, NDDC, it's good that you brought that up, because how do we make sure, and I think that must be on everybody's mind, should I say, alleged corruption that is thought to be going on a monumental scale in there, will somehow not transfer to this on the one hand? And do you think that there might be duplications of efforts, of ideas, with the NDDC being in there, and then the Southeast Development Commission also being in there? You said that they should be separate. Do you think they could pick up from each other, learn from each other?
Yeah, definitely. These are interventionist agencies. Development commissions are commissions set up by government to, take care of economic development, take care of growth, investment, and so forth and so on in the specific community or region. And I don't think there's any duplication between NDDC and SSDC. I have pointed out some material differences. For instance, I said under NDDC, nine states are involved. Okay? Under SSDC, only 6 states will be involved, because Imo State, Abia State, Ondo States are part of NDDC. And NDDC is supposed to take care of ecological, environmental challenges that are, arisen because of the exploration of oil in that Niger Delta for so many years without corresponding development. But this SSDC is going to take care of, communal conflicts, as I said before, militancy, also ecological, also environmental, issues, and infrastructure deficiency too. It has to take care of infrastructural deficiency, which NDDC has not been able to arrest. And I don't think it depends on how we are going to start. If the president will appoint transparent people, honest people, people who do not see participation in government as an avenue to enrich themselves, people who are really committed to community service, because they service, public service, all about serving the community in a very honest manner. So if we start from appointing this caliber of people, we are not going to see the corruption that has dogged the formation of NDDC. NDDC has been dogged by a lot of corruption and, arrested development, maybe because of the way it started. But I don't see SSDC. And the president being a very policy-oriented person, I think he's going to appoint good people who will, start a commission on a very good note.
All other things being equal, this should be a definite plus in terms of bringing development down to the grassroots. In fact, these development efforts now have multiple layers, don't they? Depending on the region, and it's like every region will have its own custom, shall we say, or specific requirements. It can't be one size fits all. There might be provisions, but between the regions, the provision, if the provision is equal, let's say X amount of naira is going to be devoted to, each region, the way it will be used will be different from region to region. That is a plus, right? Everybody will sort of, when I say everybody, people in the region will know where the shoe pinches and what indeed efforts should be concentrated on. That's going to be one of the benefits of this situation that we have here that has now been signed into law by Mr. President.
Yes.
For instance, Southwest.
If you look at all the...
Please continue, sir.
If you look at all the regions in Nigeria, all the geopolitical regions, Southwest, South-South, Southeast, North-Central, North-East, and Northwest, they have different challenges. And the challenges you have in one region are not, are not identical to the challenges you may have in another region. So they have their own peculiarities. That is the essence of federalism. People from different parts of the country, or of a country, of different background, geographical, environmental, historical experiences, all of them coming to form a union and agreeing, this we have to form a union, but these are our, my peculiar problems. So we allow us some local autonomy to enable us address issues or peculiarities that are common to us. So by virtue of that, in development, we have seen that there's a lot of monumental developmental challenges confronting the different regions of Nigeria. If you go to the Northwest, now the Northwest is maybe banditry and all that has been reached. If you go to Northeast, maybe Boko Haram. North Central, the fight between the farmers and the herders, is very rampant in North Central. If you go to the Southeast, it's erosion. They have erosion problem because the Southeast is very compressed. They don't have a big land mass. So the issue, there's that issue of environmental, ecological problems in the Southeast. And then if you go to the South-South, the South-South has a lot of rivers, River Rhine. So, and that is a challenge to build roads, to build bridges, to connect one community with another. The topography is very challenging. It's very difficult. So if you are an administrator in the South-South, you have to take into account whatever you want to do. You have to take into account the topography, the difficult terrain, the plenty of rivers, And then also the Southwest too. Southwest has also its own peculiarity. So that is it. So it is good to, that the president is trying to address the problems of Nigeria on regional basis. I know we have been clamoring for return to regionalism. A lot of Nigerians, because we saw that when we were in regions, Western region was the fastest, developing region in Africa at that time, between the 1950s and 1960s. The Eastern region, too, was doing so well in agriculture. A lot of agricultural plantations and estates were set up by the premier, Pre-Opara, Michael Opara. Also, the Northern region, too, was also moving at a very fast pace. And we all lost out when, the regional system was abolished and the country was divided into a number of states. We have not been able to see that, the kind of development we saw when we had the regional system, and then the one we are seeing in the state system. So that is very certain that this regional system, these regional commissions, will go a long way to addressing the fundamental and monumental developmental issues confronting Nigeria on regional basis. That is why we are saying that when you want to appoint, you have to appoint people who have integrity, people who want to serve, and not just people who are pushed by, by some what we call godfathers or some influential people. Like there's this rumor, there's this fear that a former governor of Delta State wants to push somebody from Delta State to be managing director of SSDC. And those of us from Cross River State, we are worried, we are not happy. Okay. And that shouldn't happen, because in the first instance, NDDC, the chairman of NDDC board is from Delta State. So you cannot have two developmental commissions in the South-South being headed by somebody from Delta States. It's not fair. So we are asking that this time around, maybe Cross River State, being the oldest state, if Cross River State was created in 1967, though the name was Southeastern State, but in 1976, it was, the name was changed from Southeastern State to Cross River State. And then in 1987, Akwa Ibom was carved out of Cross River State. So Cross River State has been there. I started with the historical, I made an historical excursion to what happened in the 1950s. And that was when the agitation for creation of Calabar, Ogoja, River State started from Eastern region. So we have suffered from a lot of marginalization. And we think in our own region now, in the South-South, we shouldn't be marginalized. Yes.
Thank you. It's important that you brought up this particular aspect of it, because I think, very, very recently, there was news that ex-agitators, a forum of ex-agitators in the Niger Delta are demanding the scrutiny, the scrutiny of prospective heads of SSDC. And indeed, this is probably as it should be. In fact, perhaps they'll be able to find a mechanism for the people of the region to own it and be qualified to attend fora where their voice can be heard for whatever it is worth, so that everybody feels a sense of belonging in this, and there's no totality of knowledge from one place. At least you've heard the people. So with the ex-agitators, no less, in the Niger Delta region, demanding the scrutiny of those whosoever is being put forward as a head, I guess that's another, shall I say, little hurdle that has to be crossed. Because there might be some high-ranking players that are beginning to think of pushing one person or the other. But how complex a task do you think it is to get a satisfactory leadership?
Well, I am happy that our president is a very sound person who knows the country very well. He has been an activist. He was a senator. He was a governor. He was opposition leader, and he was able to, push for the democracy in Nigeria, the federalism to be deepened. What he did in Lagos State when the Lagos State government took the federal government to court, when the president Obasanjo wanted to stop allocation to local government councils in Lagos State. Also, he was instrumental, one of the two people that were instrumental to the opposition parties coming together in 2013 to form APC that was able to wrestle power from PDP. So I think taking that into consideration, you should be able to look inwardly, look at what the problems that have besetted NDDC, and try to make an amend in the case of SSDC in terms of appointment of people who are going to start the commission, to ensure that what happened in NDDC does not happen in SSDC. It should be, appointment should be grassroots oriented. That is why we are worried when we start hearing rumor that the MD is going to come from Delta State, and they are mentioning a former governor from Delta State to be instrumental. So we are not happy about that. That shouldn't be allowed. We don't want to see all the problems we have seen in NDDC. Let SSDC be different. And if SSDC is different, I think we will see the difference. We will be happy that the regional commission has been set up. It will make a difference in infrastructural development, in ecological problems, problems of environmental degradation, problems of communal conflicts, which are very rampant, problems of militancy, and other issues,
yes,
related issues that has to do with development of this region.
Even the question of employment or unemployment can be at least partially addressed.
Yes, because these commissions are also supposed to create wealth. They are also to generate employment for young people. There are a lot of young people who are not employed, and all young people need to be engaged. If they are engaged, they will not go into militancy. They will not go into, bombing oil pipelines and other negative, issues that young people get involved in. In the South, like political thuggery is very rampant. I can say that most times elections do not take place in the South region. Yes, you can't try that in the Southwest. People are very sophisticated there. People are very politically conscious. But the consciousness in the South is very low, and it is the negative one. Politics is being controlled by barons, by oligarchs. So if you are not their person, no matter how good you are, they will never help you to come up. So I think the SSDC will also be like a school, trains young people on, positive things, development, to be self-reliant, on skill acquisition. So if all this is done in a very, organized manner, we will see also positive results very soon. I'm very hopeful of that.
Indeed. So I guess it remains to be seen what the mechanism is going to be for bringing up the leadership, because that is going to affect largely how well the people understand, one, what has been brought to them now. Now that everybody in the country is covered, we have the 6 regions, each having its own development commission. The rest, what is left is what you've been talking about, the honesty, the transparency, the effectiveness, efficiency of those who are in charge, seeing it as a public charge and conducting themselves as such, as opposed to seeing it as something of a bonanza and, now there's more to be made. That's not what it's all about at all. It's not about providing jobs for the quote-unquote boys, as it were. And that's why it's going to be doubly important, I think, for this process to be handled very, very delicately, so that the people actually know, one, what this grouping is going to do for them, and two, they feel a part of it, and because we need to see roadmaps. Tell us what you want to do. Let us hear it. Let us hear the roadmap. Let us hear the plan. I suppose then people can, can rest assured that the right thing is being done, as opposed to people just carrying on without sharing with the general populace that they're supposed to benefit. All of these shouldn't be issues once all the things that you are talking about are factored in, right?
Sure, I agree with you absolutely. That is why we are saying that from the beginning, the modalities for appointment of principal officers, the management, should be different. It shouldn't be like NDDC. And we should have wide consultation, with traditional rulers, with community leaders, with religious leaders, with people who are close to the ground, who really know our problems. It is not just some political oligarchs or political figures who want to play politics, because sometimes the way politicians play politics, they play politics in a very opportunistic way. What will benefit me? What is going to be my gain if I do this? We shouldn't have that. If that is taken away and a different approach is adopted, appointing innovative people, creative people, people who have conscience, who really want to work for the community, who are bothered about the community, then we are going to see the difference. But if you continue to appoint politicians who want to go there, if you are made MD, you want to use that opportunity of the appointment to begin to aspire to be governor of one of the states, or to be a senator, or to go to the House of Reps. So accumulate plenty of money so that you can be able to become powerful politically. Then we are not going to have results. We should have people who are professionals, people who are innovative, people who are creative, people who are dynamic. If you have this, caliber of people, I think we are going to see the difference.
Do you mean by that, or do you think it can be beneficial to have technocrats in those positions? Because I remember what was the appointment that the president made, and everybody was commending that, that was in relation to the NNPC shake-up, and how people were commenting that these are all people who they actually know their onions, they're technocrats, they are apolitical. I think that's very, very important. Speak to me on those issues, please.
I agree with you. Look at the NNPC board. I was very impressed. I saw the MD, who is from the oil, and is an oil man from the oil sector, from the private sector. Almost all of them. That will be good. And we are going to see a different NNPC if that is done. So that is what the kind of caliber of people or personalities we want the president to appoint to start, to take off, for these commissions to take off. If these commissions are properly, staffed, the proper people are appointed, you will see a lot of difference. And they may even challenge the states. They'll challenge the states because the states who have been are facing these problems, similar to the problems NDDC has been facing. Look at a state like Delta State. So much money. Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa State, those states should not have any problem, or we shouldn't see the kind of problems we see in other states that don't have the kind of money they have. But because of political reason and poor governance, these states have not done well. So we want an SSDC that will be a challenge to the states, and the states will now begin to emulate them, because people will begin to say that the development commissions are doing better. They will also challenge the local government areas or the local government councils, because the local government councils too have not been doing well. And that is why you have a lot of issues about senators talking about constituency projects, doling out money, providing a lot of empowerment programs. We shouldn't have senators who should not be focused on lawmaking, policy making, oversight, exercising oversight functions of the executive branch of government, not them doing empowerment programs or empowerment projects in their senatorial district. That should not be the principal focus of the members of the National Assembly.
Indeed.
So it's as a result of the mistake we have seen in local government councils and also state governments, and even NDDC. So let SSDC and other development commissions in the southwest, in the southeast, in the northwest, in north central, in northeast, be models. Let them be success stories, and so that they will resonate. What we will see there will resonate to the states, to the communities, to the local government areas, to the villages. And that will be great for the country. I think that is what the vision of Mr. President.
All right, then.
That is why when he assumed office, we started having all these commissions, trying to give every region its own commission.
Okay. Well, Chief Okoye Bono Obla, we'll take a break now. Do please stay with us. We'll be right back. We'll continue with this conversation because we're going to look at the two regions, South-South and the Southwest. Southwest Development Commission and the South-South Development Commission. That when we come back. Stay with us, please.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did this?
First, with breaking news.
Every weekday on Business Nigeria, we uncover the secrets of the financial world.
We analyze the stock market, shares, bonds, and the thrilling world of cryptocurrency.
Facts matter. Our team dives deep to separate fact from popular opinion.
We simplify complex government policies as it impacts your everyday life, helping you navigate the ever-changing financial landscape.
Watch Business Nigeria every weekday at 2 p.m. only on TVC News. First with breaking news.
Okay, welcome back, and our guest is Chief Okoye Obono Obla. He's an APC chieftain and a former national legislator. Thank you very much for remaining with us. We're talking about the South-South Development Commission as well as the Southwest. And now, when we go to the Southwest, okay, we've talked in relation to the South-South that they've also had the NNDC. You can take what's good from that and make sure to avoid whatever was seen to be untoward. Now, when you move to the Southwest, you see that, you know, they in the Southwest also had DAWN, D-A-W-N, Development Agenda for Western Nigeria, which they
Information is power, information is security, information is knowledge. On Labor Lens, we believe that working people
hasten and maybe even enhance whatever those development plans were.
Yes, I think you know, the western region of Nigeria, as I said before, is very sophisticated. You have a lot of educated people, very enterprising people. The recent, you know, I saw that the recent billionaires that were, you know, published, the list in international media of black people. Almost 6 of them were from the Southwest Nigeria. And they have been very vociferous about the regional system. They want the regional system back, taking into account the impressive strides that were made by Western Nigeria from 1951 or 1950 to 1967, when several states were created out of Western region of Nigeria.
Yes.
So I've been in the forefront of the agitation for regional system of government. I think the Southwest people of Nigeria presently will be very happy that what they have been agitating for, even if it is not in the form of, you know, the way they have been agitating for a governmental system, they are going to have the Southwest Development Commission, which is, as I said, an interventionist agency,
okay.
You know, set up by government for specific projects, for specific development, you know, issues to be tackled.
Okay.
Investment,
one moment, Chief. I beg your pardon, Chief. One moment. But I'm so sorry for interrupting you.
So forth and so on. I think they were very happy.
Okay.
And
we have a caller waiting on the line. Let me bring in Mr. George. Good morning, Mr. George, and thank you for holding on.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to the guests. Uncle Yori, I will continue to oppose this proliferation of regional divisions for regional commissions for reasons I've always stated. It looks like a channel for waste of funds.
Okay,
because
how do you mean?
Yes, you give them, you allocate a lot of money to them. At the end of the day, you don't see what they do with the money. They fight over sharing it, and Look at the Niger Delta Development, NNDC, for instance. Let them show us for over 20 years they've been there, what projects they have executed. Most of the projects they started are never completed, and the money is gone. If you look at the situation, you will discover that people are just interested in sharing the money than using it for development in commission. If I were the president, I will increase the number of ministers to spread governance to the grassroots. I will be spending the money directly, and the ministers will be reporting back to me on what they are doing, with the money in every region directly. If at the beginning of the year, the budget for regions is 1 trillion, the minister must report to me what that 1 trillion has been used for at the end of that year in every region. You will get more money like that, and the money will be spent for projects for the people, not for sharing. I challenge the gentleman that you are talking to, who has been in NNDC, NDDC. Let them produce report of what they have used the money that has been allocated to that commission versus what they have used the money to do. Let it be in print and let everybody see it.
All right, then. Well, thank you very much, Mr. George. Chief?
Yes, I think Mr. George is mistaken. NNPC is not a regional agency. NNPC is a national agency. It belongs to the federal government of Nigeria. I will not call NDDC the regional agency. NDDC is taking care of ecological issues, environmental issues that have arisen as a result of oil exploration in the Niger Delta part of Nigeria. And if you look at NDDC, the geographical area it covers is made up of, southwest, south-south, and southeast. So I would not call it a regional agency. It is out of, the terminology of what somebody will say is a regional agency. Because it's, as I said, it encompasses 3 regions: south-south, southeast, and southwest. Mm-hmm. So it is different from regional agencies per se. South Development Commission is a regional agency because it is, going to take care of developmental challenges in the south geopolitical zone. The Southwest Development Commission will take care of problems in the southwest, geopolitical zone of the country. Likewise, northeast, north central, and northwest. And I don't think the South, the NDDC experience should deter us from taking this approach. This approach has not been taken before. This is the first time we are taking this approach. Let's see how it goes. I don't think people will just grab money and put in their pockets. It all depends on the people that the president is going to appoint to start these agencies. Indeed. Because it's in tune in what Nigerians are looking for. They are yearnings of Nigeria. The Nigerians have been yearning for regional system because they know the benefits of the regional system. They know what they experienced, in the 1950s and the 1960s when we had the regional system. So, and they clamor for it. So let's give it to them. And I think because they clamor for it, they will do well. Everybody who's appointed will know that he has a responsibility to work hard. He has a responsibility to deliver. So I don't think it's going to be another, sharing of cake.
Another
it's
jamboree.
It's not going to be like that. Nigerians are very conscious now. They are very politically conscious that they will not allow anybody who has been given the management of any development agencies to misuse it.
I suppose the thrust of Mr. George's comment is that there has to be a very clear reporting line. This is very, very important. Even those people themselves, whoever are appointed into these commissions, must be willing and indeed interested in showing that, look, this is what we have. This is the road map of how we intend to move on this, and it's known to all transparently. I don't think there can be very many problems if that particular approach is taken, because unfortunately, you know, things have happened in this country, and we have found ourselves, to put it opaquely, I mean, to put it one kind of way, we have found ourselves where we have found ourselves. We have been disappointed in the past by some people that have been selected to serve in noble ideas like this. So Mr. George was probably referring to this whole matter of how do we ensure transparency, one, through the kind of people that we bring on board, and then two, through the reporting channels. I suppose those things will come. Does the law provide for, you know, provide how these things will be dealt with?
Yes, constitutionally.
Okay.
These agents or these commissions, the reporting is very easy constitutionally, or we can see it. The MDs will be appointed by Mr. President. You know, so they report to Mr. President. They will be confirmed by the Senate or the House of Representatives. So these confirming agencies or bodies like the Senate or the House of Reps, as the case may be, they have to make sure that anybody whom Mr. President has nominated to be an MD, to be chairman of the board, or to be a commissioner in any of the commissions, is somebody who wants to work hard, somebody who has integrity, somebody who will not see it as an avenue to get his own share from what the so-called national cake. So there's no problem about the reporting lines. The reporting lines are there. The National Assembly is a constitutional watchdog of all the executive branch of government, all the agencies, all the commissions, all the departments, all the ministries in the executive branch of government at the federal level. They also come under the scope or the purview of the National Assembly to look into whatever they are doing, to see if it is in conformity with the law setting up these agencies or this commission. So these commissions are set up by law. The law will prescribe the mode of appointments, the tenure of the MDs, the chairmen, the commissioners, and so forth and so on, the directors. It will be all there. All these provisions concerning these appointments are there in the different laws setting up these commissions. So the most important thing is for the National Assembly to do its work in a very consensuous manner to ensure that any of the commissions does not deviate from the enabling law. And that the work of the National Assembly is, as an oversight body, is to look at all the agencies to see if if the agencies are performing in consonance with their enabling laws, if they are efficient, if there is proper administration, if the money that is budgeted for projects, for capital expenditure, and so forth and so on, is spent in the way it should be spent, to expose corruption.
Exactly.
So if they see all this, if they carry out oversight functions and see that there's a lot of maladministration, inefficiency, and corruption, then all they need to do is to amend the law to block the leakages, the loopholes that people are taking advantage of. So I think there's something to fear about accountability or transparency, except the National Assembly or the executive branch of government or people who appointed these people. You know, they are not interested in seeing efficiency, seeing inefficacy, seeing transparency and accountability. Then we'll begin to have those things. You know, but if they are interested and they have the political will to ensure that these commissions, are properly run, managed, organized, then I don't think we'll have any problem.
Okay. Mazi Okorafo in Aruchuku, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Nigeria. In a situation like this now, we should be looking at somebody who has integrity, somebody who has a good track record, a woman being who has God's fearing. What I mean by God's fearing, God's from the bottom of her heart, from the bottom of his or her heart, that are ready to do it. Now, when you look at people's past record, you decide who to be there or not to be there. A situation whereby, as somebody who is educated and enlightened, who has what we call that charisma, who is ready to absorb criticism. Because what Nigeria is facing today is that 70% or 80%, according to the research work of Nigerians who are chief executives, they like criticism, whether positive or negative. So we should look for somebody who has got an absorption, the shock absorber to be there that will accept this. Because the commission is not something that a day job. It's not a journey just come. It's not a job because Because if you do that thing and just use for that Christmas job, it will not work. Let it not be based on political appointment. Maybe belong to my party or not my party. Let's keep it aside. And bring somebody who is ready to do the correct thing right now for us to move forward. Because what we need now is development. What we need is success. What we need now is a progress. What we need now is a future that's for everybody in this country to move forward. Good morning, Mazi Okorafo from Kirabia State.
Thank you, Mazi Okorafo. Everybody sort of wanting a very, streamlined, line of reporting. And to be sure that people in there are selfless people. But he also brought up this other matter about, he was just speaking, but that, look, you don't have to bring people into it based on this man is a member from my party, this woman is from my party. Those are, whereas there's no offense, of course, you have to belong somewhere. But are you concerned about that particular aspect where politicians are known to want to favor their own? Take Mr. President, for instance. He put Wike, who is of a different party, he put him in charge of a strategic, very strategic assignment. So is that the kind of thing that we're talking about in relation to these development commissions?
Well, I don't agree with the perspective that in our political parties, we do not have professionals. We don't have tested professionals. We don't have technocrats. We have. I can tell you that in APC, there are a lot of technocrats, there are a lot of professionals who have done very well in their different areas. Not only APC, PDP, all the political parties, So this notion that people should not be appointed from the political parties because everybody assumes that everybody appointed from a political party is a politician. Well, politician, who is a politician? Let's define politics first. Politics is who gets what, when, and how. Anybody involved in that process of management of resources, management of people, is a politician. Whether you are in a partisan politics or not, the authoritative allocation of resources are scarce in society. So every part of the community or segment of the population wants to benefit from the resources allotted by government for a particular community or group of people. So the management of this process to ensure that every segment, every part gets something, so that there is no section that will say I'm marginalized.
Yes.
Because if people begin to feel that we are marginalized, then they will begin to make trouble. They will begin to dissent, and then you can have a crisis. So we have all these people. Look, let me tell you about China. China, the only political party is the Communist Party of China. And are you saying that there are no technocrats in the Communist Party? Because everybody that has been appointed, everybody who's appointed MD of this or that must come from the, from the Communist Party of China. And China is a world power. China was very backward in 1940s, 1930s, and there was even a civil war that ended in 1949. And between 1949 and 2025, China has become a world power. Right. China is also very rich. And America is indebted to China. Canada is indebted to China. Look, there was a program I attended in Canada, and they told us about a law that was enacted by the city of Toronto against Chinese businessmen because they were buying all the high-rise in Toronto, and the Canadians were becoming uncomfortable. So they had to pass a law, the municipal council, to say, look, we are not going to sell all the high-rise to the Chinese business people. So I do not think we don't have good professionals. We don't have technocrats in the political parties. But that doesn't mean that the president must appoint only from the political party. For instance, the MD of an NPC who has just been appointed, I don't think he belongs to any political party. The president has been appointing a lot of people, without, appointing without passing through APC. So I think that fear should not be there. The most important thing is, if a member of a APC wants to be appointed, he must be a professional.
Exactly.
He must be the person that has integrity. He must be a person that is innovative, who has a track record, who is creative, who will not see his appointment as an opportunity to amass wealth for himself and his family. I think we have a lot of people who are honest in this country, who don't behave like that, even though they belong to APC or PDP or whatever. Okay. We have.
Indeed. You're so very right. Because the fact that a person is a member of the political party should not be held against him, where it's not supposed to be held against him, if he happens to be qualified for that job. Just as an oblique example, not particularly, duplicating anything. Wike, I think most people have been saying that Wike has been doing a great job, even though he's not from the ruling party. It could have been someone from the ruling party as well, but Mr. Chair President, in his wisdom, chose a person who he knew could actually do that job. I suppose that's the kind of thing that people are talking about. I'm sorry that I mentioned the name of Honorable Minister Wike, but it was just to illustrate the point that I think George was saying that we should be careful about. Was it George or someone else, or Mazi Okorafo, that we should be careful about? But I want to thank you very much, Chief Okoye Ogbonna Obla, for coming on and sharing your perspectives with us on the establishment of the additional development committees that have now the entire country is covered, and that certainly is a good thing. So I guess we're going to be watching very carefully, and we will be careful to notice what exactly they want to do and how this is benefiting everybody. So I want to thank you very much, Chief, for coming on our program.
Thank you, Kola.
All right, then. Appreciate you. Okay, so that's our program today. Do please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Iyori Folarin. Bye-bye for now.